December 21st, and we are on the last 4 hatches of the Dakota Irish dice. But what Dakota Irish? No, this is Chessex. My bad. I'm recording these straight after one another, so that is why I'm getting them mixed up. This is the last hatch on this side of the cube, so we will be done with it after this. I get it a good little bop and a nice little tweak. So in this we can expect to either finish up this set or finish up this set, as both sets only need one more. But there is also the chance of getting random die, which obviously I don't mind. Any die got is good. We can always talk about whether I want to play with them afterwards, but getting dies is definitely not something I'm going to complain about. Oh, tiny die. 4 of them. Ah, wonderful. So that actually, if we scoot these over, you can see that is the rest of this set. You can't see all 4 because one is in here. Okay, to the fiddly bits of getting these out. And the problem is that one of them is the D20, which, as mentioned last time, is the one that the closest resembles a sphere, thus is hardest to dig out. But another problem is also that there is a D4. Now the D4 in this situation is hard to dig out because it wants to be flat down against the bottom, and the pits are just too narrow and too deep to get my fingers in. Now if I had something like a tongue to be able to go in and snatch it up, I would happily do that, but I don't. At least not that I remember. I might have some tools out in my garden area, but we'll just put them aside for the time being, because I know if I were to place them here, I'd just knock them off the side. I don't want to do that. But they're very tiny. D20 gut. The D10 and the D4 is next. And the D4 is going to be an issue. Come on. You absolute pain in the buttocks. Could you stop? And now I pushed it into a corner, so that's definitely not coming out. The problem is I have the best grip with my index finger and my thumb, but as you can see, there's no wiggle room. Like, I can barely fit my index finger and my longer finger, my middle finger in there. So there's no chance that my thumb should fit in alongside another finger. Like, if I can flip this D4 without having it land on one of its sides, I think is the... Oh, come on, you... Oh, no! Oh, it fell off my finger. I very nearly had it. Will you? Please. At least I don't have to worry about it going into the other hatches because they are all spent. There's nothing in them, but... Why would you make a pit so deep, so narrow, and then put tiny die in it? At least, put them into a bag or something. That was the first one, and that one didn't even need to be in a bag because it was a big chunky boy. And it was in a big hatch that was, albeit it was deep. I could just resort to savagery and violence and just tear this apart. I might have to, but that's not where we're going first. See, I have more mobility if I only have one finger down there, but then I also can't really control the die unless I get it to land exactly on... Oh, whew. Okay, I didn't even try the D10 until now, but I expect it to be easier than the D4. Simply because it doesn't have as large a surface to land on, and thus it is easier to get, yeah, basically first try. Okay, now we have a full set of these. So, they're cute, and they're different than other sized die. Like you can see the difference here-ish. And yeah, I mean, that's... I'll give it a roll through the tower, but I don't think I'll ever be using die this small. Let's start with the biggest die first, which is obviously the percentile die. That's a 20, and the D20, very fitting. Now, if the D20 also rolls a 12, that would be kind of weird, but weirdly impressive also. No, that is a 10. Oh, okay. I thought so. If the D100 rolled a 20, the D20 rolled a 12, and so on, that would... A bit of an interesting streak. And the D12 rolled a 1. The D10. That is a 3. D8. That is also a 3. The D6. That's a 2. And the D4, which rolled a 3. Lots of 3s here. But now we got a full set, which means that they switch containers from my dice tray. Well, one of them, I have a few. The purple thing you see down here under these books, that is also a dice tray, and underneath that there is another dice tray in green. Yeah, I have a lot of dice trays. I bought most of them in bulk at some point, so I always have enough. I have some in my bag. I have some in my GM bag. Yeah, I have dice trays. But I also have dice, so that makes sense. Right, we are done with 21st. Tomorrow we shall do the 22nd and move that much closer to the end of the calendar. But until then, take care.